thoughts on the upcoming season? Seeing some of the guys play a little bit, probably. What are your early premonitions?
I don't watch them play very much when they're, playing around this time. I don't spend any time watching them. They're too undisciplined for me at this point. So, bunch of Colts out there having a good time. So, we try to bring them, let them have a good time now, and discipline them a little bit later. But, we're excited about our year. A lot of the same players back again. There hasn't been a whole lot of changes. Obviously, Andrew coming back is a change, is a difference. We think that we're healthy coming into this training camp. Obviously we have some things that are going on. Luke is still recovering a little bit from an operation. He'll be a little slow, but for the most part, we're relatively healthy, as opposed to last year where we had players who couldn't compete right away. And we think that some of our players have played a little bit, probably too much basketball this summer with Kobe and Powell, and so we'll kind of generate a camp around their limited work. It's at least this first week.
Phil, Kobe decided against surgery, and what's your kind of take on that?
I think it was a good idea. I think that regardless of the correction that might have been done by the surgery, he's still susceptible. I don't think there's any more of a risk than there would be if he had surgery and got his finger caught in a jersey again. I think it's probably the same kind of risk factor. There's going to probably be a little less strength there or whatever, but he's going to be fine. He's played all summer with it. I wasn't happy with the way he shot the ball particularly, but I think he's adjusted to that.
How does Andrew look in the limited Colt-like discipline runnings you might have seen out there? Does he look healthy too?
Just looking at Andrew, he looks great. Just to see him, he's lost, the edge of how to play, continual basketball, from A to Z. He's still just in the playground kind of stage here. But we'll see, if he can get to that level where, you compete every moment you're on the floor. You're working and you're doing the things you have to do every moment. But that's something Andrew was just getting a hold of when he was injured last year, and we need to get him back to that space at some time, hopefully in this month.
Reasonable expectations from a lot of people see him as the kind of missing piece to take his team and hold on to the championship, but we still haven't seen really a full season out of him.
No, we've seen Andrew play about 20 games in 3 seasons. And that's about it. And he played obviously more games than that last year, but he reached a certain potential point where we saw a light go on, where he reached an idea of this is how I have to play to be competitive. What I'm going to ask Andrew to do in this offense is to rebound offensively, to set picks, and to be, a pivotal point in our offense. I'm not asking him to be a one-on-one scorer or, and asking him to get a lot of points, but he's a guy that's going to shore up the defense, which I think is the important aspect, rebound, which I think is the second most important thing in our offense, and to be a person that can facilitate or help our offense out. And that means receptions off screen roll that he was getting last year, the lobs he was getting last year, some offensive moves that he gets if he catches the ball on the move, some things like that I think are important for our team to have, that kind of an outlet. Now we know that, Powell's a different animal on the post. He's more of a polished scorer down there. But, to adjust the two of them on the floor at the same time and Lamar at a wing spot is going to be our situation. That's going to be our goal this year in training camp, to figure out how to do that.
Drew, how are you feeling physically going into the season?
I'm feeling good, Brad. How you feeling?
Feeling really good. Matter of fact.
I see you changed letterheads on your... Well, are you doing any typed paper, or are you just doing web now?
I don't know where we're doing.
Yeah, that's
First,
it.
I'm trying to pass the drug test.
That's it.
So far, I haven't.
No, I'm feeling fine. I've got a good summer, and looking forward to it. We want to hopefully get back to where we were last year at the season's end and have a different result.
You even think about what happened in that championship series? Do these guys even think about it, or you just throw all that away? And
I don't think we forgot about it, let alone not think about it. Jeannie made me watch, what do they call those things that ESPN runs in the summertime?
Classics.
No, they have a big ceremony down at Nokia. What is it?
ESPYs.
ESPYs. She made me watch that when I got back from Montana, just to spite me, just to make me have to see those guys up there and saying our second victory in LA, something like that. There's still a little bit of angst and anger there about that.
Do you expect them to be just as formidable this season?
I don't care about them. I just care about us, going out and playing.
We talked at the end of that game about the resolve and the toughness, particularly in that game, that you guys might not have shown. How much did that hammer the offseason?
Well, a lot of it entered my mind, and we had our exit meetings with our players about what they have to be and what they have to do to get back to, the ability to come through this conference to get to that spot. I mean, to fight your way through the playoffs in the West and get to the finals is a tall order. It's remarkable that we did it last year, probably a year ahead of the schedule that I thought we could be on. But we gelled well in the end of the season and played up to potential that was higher than I expected. But now to not be complacent with that and come back and have that same desire is really the goal for us. And I think we got some experience in players that were young. Andrew did get the full season, but Jordan, Sasha. So we're really happy about that. Trevor's also a person that didn't get the full year because of his injury. But we know that we're going to be deeper and we're going to be a little bit quicker and we're going to be bigger as a basketball team. So there's a lot of things that, it's going to give us that strength, that tensile strength that we lacked, I think, in the sixth game where they just took the game away from us right from the start.
Most people have looked too when Andrew comes back about Andrew, Lamar, and Powell. What do they do defensively? Can you do the same things against all teams? Will there be some teams where you won't be able to play them together defensively? How does that shake out?
I think there's going to have to be an understanding on this team that there's going to be personnel that are going to be better off against some teams, some opponents, and some styles of ways we're going to have to play. Whether we have a small team like a Golden State that's one center and the rest of the guys are all small forwards out there playing, the guys are going to have to adjust and sacrifice to meet the demands of game by game. But we're going to have a potentially very large, tall, lanky, strong front line, and if they could play defense together, they could be a very formidable opponent, I think, to score against. Offensively, how we get those guys together and do that with, the size they have and, the abilities they have as starters, that's going to be interesting to see. And, that's going to be a big challenge for our coaching staff.
Phil, so many of the, like to say, pundits have put you guys as favorites to win the NBA championships.
Right.
How do you think this team will handle something like that?
I don't think it's going to affect them. I think they, I think they know that they failed, in the finals last year. I think they know that they got a game that they play and they can play. But those are the players that may not be on the floor all the time together this year. So they've got to make adjustments. I think they know that it's a curious training camp for them. It's one in which we have to figure some things out before we'll know how we're going to go in the regular season. I think these guys are ready and willing to come in and work. We've got a pretty good group of guys. I like their work ethic.
You have the exit interviews with the guys. Do you have coming in interviews one-on-one with guys when they come back to start the season?
No, we'll have some interviews with these guys during the course of the first week and a half or two of the preseason. We have it right here, in our facility in LA. Guys are at home. We can do the best work we want to. It gives us an opportunity to do more things than if we were in Hawaii or off-site training camp. I like that.
Yeah, but we like Hawaii.
or Santa Barbara.
Or San Diego.
Or hang on to your job. You go there next year. keep the times afloat.
If I pass the drug test, I will be there.